Hello everyone, I'm going to talk to you about how to create scenes in your Flash Animate. And if there's a lot of background noise, I'm in my office trying to do this and the hallway's very loud. Okay, I have this animation already created, and let me go back up here to scene 1. Okay, on scene 1 I have a ball, it's a red ball, and it's animated. I also have a button, and if I go to properties, this is a button, and I've named it button 1. And this is a ball, and I've named it, I could name it red ball. Let's name it that, our ball. That's good. Okay. Oh, do you know what? I have to, REDBALL. I cannot have any spaces in there. And I'm making it a movie clip because maybe I want it to jitter as it's going around, but we're not going to do that. If you take a look at how I've fixed this up, layer 1 is just the background, and if I had had static pictures that weren't going to move, I'd put it there. Then here's the red ball, and it's got an animation. This layer has my button, and this is my actions. Okay, I have also created 2 scenes. Here's the second scene, same thing. Let's bring this back over here. I have the background, I have a green ball, and I have a button, and I have actions. Okay, let's play this out scene. First of all, let's look at on the actions. Let me go back over here, and I will click here, and I've lined my things up down here so actions show here. Right away at the end of the scene, I asked you to put a stop. You would type STOP, the 2 different parentheses, and a semicolon. Now, I also, when I clicked on the button, well, I don't have it on the button there, but it ends up on the scene. Let's go back here to get the scene. Let's click off of this. Let's go back to timeline. On the scene, when I put a button, an action on the button, it actually put this in. Button, add event listener, and when the computer hears a mouse event, a click, it will go to the next scene. I've got add event listener on the button 1, and the mouse event would be the click of the mouse, and it will go to the next scene. And it talks about the scene, different things. You don't do anything here. The software will do it. Now that's true on the other one. So let's play this out. I'm going to go Control, Test Movie, and Edge Animate. Here it is. It starts, and then it stops. And then when I click the mouse, remember that on event, mouse event, click, it'll go to the next scene. Now I put a stop there too, and then I did an on mouse event to go to the previous scene. And there it is. Now I want to show you how to do this, how you can get your animation to have this structure done for you. Okay, I'm going to start as a new file. File, new, and I'm going to make it ActionScript 3.0, and this is fine. You can do a larger if you want, and go OK. Now I think on another video I might have shown what you would do if you wanted to change the scene color. I would click on the scene or the stage color. And let's do this one. I don't know. Let's do it kind of periwinkle. That sounds good. Okay, how do I start this? Right now, I just have one scene. I'm on scene 1, right there. I know I will have a layer for, let's try an animation. Animation 1, whatever I'm going to put there. I will have a layer. Double click for my button, B-U-T-T-O-N, and I will have a layer up here called Actions, A-C-T-I-O-N-S. And I'm not sure if maybe when I do something with a button, the actions might not show up a new one. But now let's do an animation. What I'm going to do is I've got all of these rows. I've got layer 1, which is my background. Let's name it background. B-A-C-K-G-R-O-U-N-D. Okay, there's the background. Now, I need to add some time to this, so I'll go out 100 frames. And I will click and drag down through all the layers. Then I will right-click and say Insert Frame. Now you do want everything to end on the same frame, so that's why I did it this way. Okay. Now let me go on Animations layer and click on the keyframe 1. And then there's a frame 100 there, but let's click on keyframe 1. Let's draw something. I'm going to draw an oval, and I think I will just go ahead and put it right here. Just put an oval, and I think I'm going to want it a different color. Let's click on it, and let's make it a different color. Why don't we make it red? Bright red. Okay, so on keyframe 1 of my animation layer, I have this circle. It's not a symbol yet. If I go to the library, I have no symbols. So I do need to make everything a symbol that I'm going to use. So let me go click on it, right click and say Convert to Symbol. Okay. This one is just going to be a graphic symbol. Okay. It's just a graphic symbol. Let's name it, this is the instance name, red ball. That's good. Oh, remember, no space, red ball. And I will go OK. So it is now a symbol. Now let me go to the end and click on that frame and move my symbol where I want it. I want it over there. Oops, wait a minute. Let's first click on this and say Create Motion Tween. So it's got to be the Motion Tween first. I had clicked on this layer right in there, made it a Motion Tween. Now let's bring it over to the end and move my symbol where I want it. And I might do this with it. And I might do that with it. Well, let's do this with it. Something kind of goofy. So there's my first animation. If I hit the return key, this is how it will animate. Okay, pretty cool. Now, let's stop right here before we do a button. Let's create a new scene. I will go Insert Scene. This is Scene 2. Okay. Now it's got the same background color as the first scene. Let's do a layer. First of all, this is background. Let's do a layer for animation 1. Oops. 1. Oh, do you know what? I could go scene 2-1. That's pretty cool. I need another layer for the button. Let's try it the back button layer. That's kind of cool. And then I need another layer that's actions. Just like before. We did this before. Okay. Let's go back to animation 1. And remember, we got to add some time to all these layers. Let's click at 100, drag down, drag down, right click, and say insert frame. Okay, let's go back to my animation 1 layer and click on keyframe 1. Now let's do a square. We'll do a red square, and I'll bring the red square over here. There it is. Now let me get the move tool It is not a symbol yet. Let's look in the library. I only have red ball. Okay, so what I need to do is right click on this, go down, convert to symbol, and let's call it red square. Okay, and we'll make it a graphic. Okay, so there's a red square. Now, like last time, I'm on the animation layer. I need to right click on this layer and say create motion tween. Now let's bring this on over to the end. Click on that last, oops, here, let's bring this here. Click on that last frame and bring my square where I want it. We'll put it up there. Let's go down like that. That's kind of cool. Here's what it'll do. Pretty cool. Now let's look here. Up here you can see your scenes. Here's scene 1. Here's scene 2. Okay, let's go back to scene 1. Let's work on a button. I'm going to, I can either have my button start right here, or I can have my button show up over here if I want. Matter of fact, I think I'll have my button start right there. So if I want my button to show up 10 frames before the end, I will click on the button layer right there, right click and say insert keyframe. Okay, now on that frame, let's draw out a little button. I'm going to make it yellow. I like yellow. And I will go, let's see, this is frame 1, scene 1. I will go there. That's pretty cool. Now I need to have some words. So I will go with the T tool and be sure it's, I'll just center it, okay? And I will go here. Now I'll have to move it eventually, but let's type next. I don't want it yellow. Oops. I don't want it yellow. Let's go here. I want it black. The text. Black. Next. Okay. I've rotated my scene here a little bit, but let's go and put this right there. Next. Okay, let's see if I can rotate my scene back. Well, let's just leave it there. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, I will actually select both of those things and right click and say convert to symbol. And this time I'm going to call it next, oops, next button, no spaces. Make it a button. This is important. And go OK. So on here, let's see what happens as I'm going along. Okay. And now the button shows up. This is what I want. Okay. Now let's go here. Okay. So that's what I want on scene 1. There's my button. Let's go to scene 2. Let's go to scene 2. Now, the same thing. I want out here at about 90, on this button layer, back button, I will click at the 90 and I will right click on it, whoops, and say insert keyframe. Now, at this point, I want another button. So let's get the rectangle tool. Let's make it yellow. Yellow, I like yellow. And let's do this one over here. That's pretty cool. They might not be the same size, but don't worry. Likewise, I need the type tool. I've got just static type. And I'm going to make it black. And I've got, I think, 22 points. And I will go ahead and make this one, call it back. B-A-C-K. Now get the move tool. Bring the back right there. That's pretty cool. Highlight them, click off, highlight them both. And right click create, convert to symbol. I'm sorry you're probably not seeing that, but I will call this back button. Okay, and it is a button. And go OK. So let's check this one. Okay, here's my scene 2, and then the button shows up. Okay. Okay, now I'm back on scene 1. You can see it there. And I want to work with the action script. What I'm going to do, remember I said at the end of each scene, you need to have a stop. So I'm on the action scripts here. I'm going to click on the last one, but I got to put in a keyframe. So I'm going to go right click, insert keyframe. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my actions, and right there I'm going to write STOP parentheses semicolon. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is select this button, and I want to, I've got the button selected, so this is going to go to the next. And I will go in my action, it says button 91, I will go into my actions panel, and there's this, and there's this, and there's this. I will go code snippets, and a new window opens. Now I want action script 3 because that's what I'm on. I want timeline navigation, yes. Now I want to click to go to next scene and play. See, I'm in scene 1 now. I want to go to scene 2. So I will just double click this. Okay, there is an instance name, I thought, but okay. Now, here we go. I have the stop there where I want it, and now it puts this in, going to the next scene. Add event listener, mouse click, go to next scene, and there it is. Okay, so that's that on that scene. Now let's go to the next scene. Next scene, scene 2. Let's go back to timeline. Let's go to the actions panel, or actions layer. Click on the end, right click, insert keyframe. Likewise, I want to go to actions here. I want to put a stop. STOP parentheses parentheses semicolon. Now I will click on that back button, and it says back button 90. I will click to go to previous scene and play. It's that one. So double click and just say OK. And there we go. Now, let's take a look at what's going on. Okay, let me go back to timeline. Let's go Control, Test Movie, and Animate, and let's see if it works. There's my scene. Next, there's scene 2. And back. There you go. Now we could have a stop at the beginning of it, but that's if you can get this structure done for your scenes, to have 2 scenes, and then on each scene have different animations and whatever. But I'd like you to have this structure. This is the easiest way to do it. And I hope this helps. Good luck. I just thought of something. You can have a stop at the beginning of your scene and have a button to start something if you want. That works out really well too, but you also need a stop at the end of each scene too. So if you were to do an action to stop at the beginning, you would actually click on the first frame here and put the action to stop. And then you'd have to put a button there to, when you click it, you would go to next frame and then it would play. because this one, when we clicked it, we went to the next scene. But if you wanted to stop at the beginning, not have it do anything, you could create a button, and then on that button you would stop, go to, and play next frame. So good luck. Thanks, and I hope you get it done okay. And if you have any questions, please email me. Plus, I'm here at the school to help.